Good morning. This is your friend Alvin Hope Johnson with another moment in the life of a dreamer. I'm sitting here with my good friend Terrell Knighton, Dream on Dreamer podcast today. And what's up, TK?
How you doing, Alvin?
I'm doing good, man.
Good.
So, first of all, man, thank you for coming and joining me today.
I'm glad to be here.
I need you. You're one of the best inspirations that I've had in the last couple of years, literally, in my mindset and being a good friend, and just helping me be a better person, man. So first, I want to tell you that, and I mean that, from the bottom of my heart.
Okay.
You've been
Thank you.
a friend that has been non-judgmental. So for that, I really appreciate you.
Well, I want to thank you for being a keynote speaker at our Entrepreneur Summit at our church. Thank you for accepting that and really doing an amazing job. Really impacted a lot of lives. People were impacted from that.
Well, thank you, TK. So, man, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us.
Well, I was born the son of a sharecropper, the 13th of 15 kids, and
Really?
I walked to school uphill both ways with no shoes in the snow. No, I'm just kidding. I got started in business when I was 21 years old. I was a college student. And when I was a kid, though, I used to watch a TV program called Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous with Robin Leach.
Yeah.
Well, now, that's going to show some people how old I am. Now, if you're watching this on Instagram, you don't know what that
Robin
is
Leach.
because you're too doggone young.
Right.
But anyways,
That's
I used to
right.
watch a show, I Wanted to Be Rich, for some reason, just as a kid. And I watched a movie called Caddyshack. It's about, golf and these people in the country club. And I always loved golf, just because I thought it would associate it with rich people in country clubs. I watched, Caddyshack, and I said, oh, man, I got to learn how to play golf. This is way before Tiger Woods, way before that stuff. And anyways, I was in college. I was waiting tables, working my way through school. I felt like school was the way to be successful because the most successful person in my family was my uncle. He was an attorney. And when my uncle, he was like 32, 33 years old, driving a Mercedes in the early 80s, wearing suits, too much Polo cologne. I said, man, I'm going to be a lawyer. Yeah. But it's not that I want to be a lawyer. It's just that's the only example of success that I saw. Yeah. And so I thought going to school, get an education was the way to do it. So anyways, I'm working my way through school. I'm waiting tables, and I meet this guy. He's 25. I'm 21. He's driving a big body Benz. So like a S550 today. Just think if a 25-year-old got out of an $80,000, $100,000 car, what'd you want to know? What are you doing?
Do? Yeah.
Exactly. And so anyways, this gentleman showed me what he did, and I joined him in business, and I've been here for 29 years. And I know what you're thinking. Wow, but he looks pretty young. I know. Yeah. I'm used to it. Stop it. You're embarrassing me. But 29 years in business.
Wow.
We do financial services distribution. So we have 18 offices, over 700 licensed agents, and so we have leverage income, and maybe we'll touch on a little bit of that today. But when we have leverage income, we have a business. So we're not self-employed. We have a business.
Yeah.
And so if you really want to win, you got to find a way to leverage yourself, either through real estate, through entrepreneurship. You've got to find a way to leverage yourself. You got to figure out how not to do all the work yourself. And the problem with most people, Alvin, and you think about this, everybody that's listening. Most people are trying to get paid more money for what they do. So they want to go get a project manager certification, or they want to go get a master's degree. Excuse me. They want to get a master's degree. They want to do something where they can get paid more for what they do. Maybe they want to go back to seminary. And so the challenge with that is you have to do the work.
Wow.
That's the problem. Right?
Well, I heard you say something else. I mean, that's good.
Go ahead. Let's jump on it.
The thing that I heard is a guy at 21 saw an example of what he thought he wanted to be.
Yes.
And you latched on to that.
Yes, that is so true.
So that's the part I heard. So 29 years of enduring.
Yes.
Let's talk about that 29-year process, because you just look like this today.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So 29 years of enduring. I think the highest reward for a man's toil, meaning man or woman, is not what they get for it, but rather the person they become by it. And
Repeat
so
that.
The highest reward for a man's toil, keep it in mind, that means mankind, man or woman. So the highest reward for a man's toil is not what they get for it, but rather the person they become by it. And so it's the person you're becoming. And so in 29 years, I've listened to countless audios.
Okay.
I've read countless books. I've been to countless seminars on how to sell and how to get better. And so the journey, the enduring, has been really a journey of self-development. And I wrote a chapter in the book, and the chapter says, when you get better, it gets better. And so
y'all know where I got that from now.
So people want the world to change for them, but it just doesn't work that way. If you're going to be successful, you're going to have to make a lot of changes. And then when you make those changes, then the world's going to change. But the question is, did the world change or did you change?
Perspective. That's why this guy's my friend. Wow, man, that's so much. As you get better, it gets better.
Yes.
But I love that 29 years of enduring and the process. So let's talk about that, because a lot of us, TK, this is a Dream On Dreamer podcast,
Sure.
so continuing. How was it to focus on something for 29 years, knowing, and you're still on the journey, right?
Correct.
Hadn't reached the pinnacle of what you've seen for yourself, right? Or
Right.
have you?
No. I'm still working on it. I'm still working on
Talk about that part, because so many people get lost, or they quit, or they give up 3 inches from goal. Isn't it a book or something like that? Yeah, but
It's a movie, yeah. So when I got started in the business, I was so serious about being successful. I was single. I had my own apartment. I had my own car. And for 2 years, I intentionally was not dating anybody.
Now, you said that. I heard Grant say yesterday in one of the rooms on Clubhouse, it was a room entitled 41, I make $41,000 a year. Am I a good catch?
Okay.
And his thought was, if you are single, no kids, not making 100,000, you should not be dating. That was his thought.
I think that you're going to attract what you are. And if you work on yourself and you're becoming successful, then you're going to attract somebody that's on your level. And if you're 41 years old, if you make $40,000 a year and you're single and you live in the United States of America, you are lazy and you have no vision. And you don't need to be with anybody because you're a hot mess. And you need to figure out what's wrong with you and get that fixed. And then by then you might meet somebody nice. So I'm just being honest. To make 40, that's like $3,000 a month. Come on now. Come on.
That's tough.
What you gonna do? What you gonna take
with
them
a
to Chili's?
family and 2 kids.
You gonna take them to Chili's? What you gonna do? Where you going on a date at?
Where you gonna live?
Y'all gonna share a sandwich? What are you doing? Yeah, where you gonna live? What kind of car you driving? Come on now, you gotta get busy.
That's. So, in this 29 years, you were waiting tables, putting yourself through school.
That is correct. I was waiting tables, going to school. Nobody ever bought me 1 credit hour, and nobody ever bought me 1 book. I was working, doing my thing.
Did you go all in and quit waiting tables and get into this business? Talk about that.
That's a good question. So I've been in school for 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I was almost a junior.
Okay.
I went to community college because that's what I could afford.
Okay.
But after 3 months of being in the business, I was exposed to people making $100,000 a month and $50,000 a month and $25,000 a month. And that was just way more.
And this was 29 years ago.
This was 29 years ago. So this was way more money than I ever thought about making. So I said, okay, after 3 months of doing the business, I said, this has more potential than school. So I intentionally quit school.
Okay.
Right? I dropped out on purpose. But when I dropped out, though, I didn't stay at home and play PlayStation and watch SportsCenter.
Right.
I worked 7 days a week. So when I wasn't waiting tables, I was doing my business. Wasn't doing business, I was waiting tables. So when I quit my job, the most uncomfortable thing for me, Alvin, was not having to be anywhere. And I was like, okay, I know I'm supposed to be doing something. And I just overworked to find my rhythm. So people think that being in business for yourself is you get to do what you want to do and you get to chill. Chilling has nothing to do with being in business for yourself.
I like that part that you said, because so many people that are self-employed, real estate, 100% commission sales, experience that. I don't have a schedule anymore. First of all, they're going against that every 2-week clock that they're used to hitting that checking account. Mm-hmm. That has stopped, and now I don't have anywhere to go. Do people get lost in that, not knowing how to manage their time? Was that an issue for you?
It's either you're going to have self-autonomy. Either you're going to know how to manage yourself or somebody's going to do it for you. It's simple as that. You're going to learn how to manage you, or your job going to say you get here at 8:30 and you leave at 5:30. And you get hungry at 12 and you get unhungry by 1. Or either that or you're going to be disciplined. I have a friend of mine, you know them, realtor lady,
Yes.
Rosemary Lewis.
Yeah.
And we had something coming up with like a juice fast,
Okay.
and we met at a certain time. They said, "Oh no, that's my go time. I can't use that time." And I just admired that she was so inflexible. Like, she know this is the time I make money, and that's not negotiable. Pick a different time. And I said, that's why she's like, Dallas Magazine's top realtor. That's why, because she just was like,
non-negotiable.
She's like, no, not at 10 o'clock. We can do 8, but no, not 10. That's my go time. Like, that was like, take that off the table. We're not doing that. Period. And so that's the type of mentality you have to have when you're in business for yourself.
Wow, TK, I had no idea that this was going to be so deep, because I talk to you every day, right? But that enduring for 29 years, talking about as you get better, it gets better, talking about it's not about what we accomplish, but who we become in the process.
That's it.
Do some of these things go back to some of your NLP training? Do some of these thought process come from that? Do they help you with that? Let's talk about your master level skills with NLP.
Yeah, so NLP is neuro-linguistic programming. If you know who Tony Robbins is, Anthony Robbins, what he does is NLP. He was trained by Richard Bandler and John Grinder, who are the co-founders of NLP. And so I've been studying NLP for about the past 12 plus years. And I'm a practitioner, master practitioner, and also an instructor. I went to Portugal to study with John Grinder, who's a co-founder. And so NLP is just it's a set of skills about getting better. Okay. So it's a set of skills of modeling, of communication, and those type of things. So all those things have helped me. I went to Tom Hopkins and did sales training 9 different times, So, that's how I learned how to close. So,
So it sounds like you're a proponent of, I heard you say earlier, self-education, but you have spared no expense
on
your learning.
Not at all. So my question to the listeners today is, how much money are you investing in you this year? Like, there's all these online programs that can help you get better. Live programs like yours coming up in January, in Miami, right? So that would be an investment, because you're going to go to that conference and you're going to hear from all these people. You're going to make connections, but you're going to learn. You're going to get so much information from that, right? So let's go ahead and plug the conference.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about. Investing in things like that. You're going to sit around and listen to speakers get up and say, man, I didn't even know that. I wasn't even thinking like that.
Yeah.
And it's going to take you to a higher level. But again, you've got to just invest in yourself. See, when I came up, there was no Audible books. You could just listen to a book.
Right.
There was no YouTube people. you spoiled people. Okay, man, you had to actually read the book. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't listen to a doggone book. You had to read it.
Right.
It wasn't no streaming, watching video. Man, you can do everything on YouTube, right? There's so many ways you can become successful.
Right.
Just information is at your fingertips these days.
Do you think that I've heard it said that some successful people spend 10-20% of their income in continuing education? Do you think there's a formula, or does it just work out that way, or do you just gravitate to the things that you need, not based on dollar amount?
It's not really based on a dollar amount, but I'm not, I think I spent, several $1,000s I spent over $10,000, close to $15,000 in NLP training.
But annually, you go to how many events around the country training?
That's a good question. I don't know. I'm a self-directed student. I go get what I need when I need to get it. Now that the world's opening up, that's even more so. But it's just a concentration. I'm taking an online course, December the 1st.
Okay. What is it on?
Wine education.
Why and education?
No, wine, WINE.
Oh, okay. So that's great.
I'm a wine enthusiast.
Yes.
So I'm taking courses in wine to become more versed in wine, and going through the process of how you properly taste wine. It's a hobby of mine, a passion, and I have a wine cellar already with a bunch of wine in it, and so I'm just learning more and more about wine. So. But that's self-development. Because when I have friends over and we do wine, I can teach them about wine. And I love wine because it brings people together. I just had a gathering at my house on Sunday night, and I had whatever kind of wine you like. I had it. I was pouring all kind of wine. Everybody had a great time. Wine brings people together. Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you've introduced me to some of my favorite wines. So
this is fun.
Well, man, TK, this has been really good for me. You've already said so much to the audience, but in our closing,
Okay.
I don't know if you're young, probably not your younger self, but what would you tell your younger self? Because even as determined and focused as you were 29 years ago to endure to where you are today, what would you tell your younger self that maybe could have changed the trajectory of your life? Or if somebody listening is 21 years old, working in a restaurant, going to school, and deciding a career path or school, give me something.
Well, I mean, I got a lot to give you. I mean, what I would tell anybody that's young, that's just getting started, I would say make sure you spend time around the people you want to be like, not spend time around the people that you are accustomed to. Okay. So I was always around older people and I was around successful people. Mm-hmm. And so you want to make sure you're spending time around the right people, because association brings about assimilation. So you're going to become like the people you spend time with.
Yeah.
So if you get a chance to hang around Mr. Johnson, I mean, if you could just be in his presence. I'm just sitting here in the office with him earlier, listening to him talk to loan officers and all. I'm thinking, man, what if you could shadow this guy and be with him every day? How much you could learn just listening to his conversations, even if he didn't just expressly teach you, just listening to his conversations. What could you learn? And then the second thing I would say that you would do is you just got to work on getting better every day. Every day you've got to improve. If you're a realtor, then you need to get good at being a realtor. You need to study everything about selling real estate. You need to study everything about real estate. You need to master your craft, right? Whatever it is, you need to master. If you sell insurance, I don't know, whatever you do. If you're in media, if you're an internet person, a social media manager, whatever you do, you need to study your craft and you become very good at it. And your goal is to go pro, to be a pro, to be professional. Pros get paid, amateurs don't.
Wow.
So you want to be a professional. Pros get paid. Amateurs don't.
What would you tell the old guy sitting on the fence?
Tell the old guy sitting on the fence.
Get your ass off the fence.
It's now or never, baby.
Yeah.
It's boom or bust. I mean, hey, if not now, when? And if not you, who do you recommend?
Wow. Mic drop. TK, man, thank you for your time today.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure.
Y'all, my friend TK, Terrell Knighton, if someone is interested in some of your financial services, how can they reach you?
Well, you can just Google me, Terrell Knighton on Google. I just
no
realized I have 3 pages of Google pages, so jeepers creepers, you can just Google me. Yep. But, Google me, TerrellKnighton.com. You can hit me on Facebook, Terrell, Terrill, last name Knighton, Knighton. I also have TerrellKnighton.com. But, my friends call me TK, though, so that's why he calls me TK. But my friends call me TK, but I'm Terrell Knighton.
So, y'all, Terrell Knighton, thank y'all. TK, thank you, man, for blessing me with your presence, your friendship more than anything.
Thank you.
And we got many more years to go, y'all, so dream on, dreamer.
Okay.